scored 7 goals last season. Who's going to replace those? Who's going to replace those goals?
Who's going to replace those goals
in a season?
Again, I did not.
We have enough time. The time is not much for them to come back. But I saw a team 100% from the keeper to the last man up front on it. Full throttle. Let's look at the lineup. When the lineup came out, and as the game panned out, I observed 2 key things. Jorginho, for me, he surprised me the way he performed in this game. I was worried that these guys are going to, because of his space, they're going to run him over in the midfield. And secondly, I don't know if you guys, Jesus got the pen for Arsenal, yes, but do you think he did better than Martinelli in that position, considering Zinchenko getting help for defensively from the front player, and also Martinelli's being direct against the opponent? How do you guys look at these 2 performances?
I feel like Jesus especially was warranted, because if it was a Kivior, right? If Kivior was getting the nod, right? If Kivior was getting the nod, I think Arteta would have Martinelli in front of him, because Kivior is solid enough to handle and help Martinelli, right?
You think defensively, Jesus did better than what Martinelli would have offered? I think it's the other way around.
No, I don't think so. Martinelli, and we've seen this before. If you remember, at the start of the season when we're struggling, where teams had figured out, like when we placed Zinchenko and Martinelli together, right? Somehow, some way, it wasn't as fluid because there were always pockets. Zinchenko is what you call it, is vacating certain positions, coming inverted. There is space behind Martinelli, right? Even though Martinelli is fast, he's so forward-oriented, and we understand that, right? He's a forward. But now, when you look at somebody like Jesus, right? If you look at somebody like Jesus, for instance, now Jesus will run for the ball. He protects the ball better than Martinelli will. Martinelli will take off with the ball.
That's interesting. What do you think about that? Do you think, for me, I believe Martinelli would have done better both ways, both being direct and defensive, because he's been playing in the position for a little bit. I don't know if he's 100% fit. Me, I will call for that.
I will call Martinelli.
Yeah.
I will call Martinelli. Yes.
I mean,
go ahead.
I agree with you. I think Jesus definitely has more of that knack of falling back and really trying to track the runners going in, especially with Zinchenko. But I think Martinelli has slowly been picking up on that tactic as well, and that style of his game, because I saw it a couple times today where he fell back on the right wing to help out and aid the fullback. And I think going forward, look, I love Jesus, man. He has that favela style of player, you know what I mean? But he just does not have the finishing capabilities that we need, that will take us forward, unfortunately, because I mean, we saw it against Man City. He had ample opportunity.
Even today, I was going to bring it up. He had 2 chances before that pen to give us now the lead. What about Jorginho? Jorginho, for me, did exceptionally well today, considering how Brighton play. I don't know if you guys share the same opinion.
Yes. Well, Havertz made a statement during the week, and he was talking about Jorginho. He said, "We've played together for a long time. He takes care of me. And he's like a big brother to me." Like, people forget that Jorginho was third in the Ballon d'Or. Right? He was third. Like, this guy is smart. He might be getting older, but he's a very smart player.
Very.
And I haven't said it that day. He said, just this week, he said he loves playing with Jorginho. And who gets the assist for him? Jorginho. Because the thing is, I'm so happy to be an Arsenal fan right now, regardless of how this season ends, I am so happy to be an Arsenal fan. Because every department, we are stacked.
Yeah.
We are stacked.
Because that is it, like you said, as simple as it looked today, because he did it and Kai finished it. It looked like we've seen Saka and Martinelli get to that byline, that spot multiple times, and nothing comes out of it.
And nothing happened. But this was tailored for, like, and he does the work without even stressing too much. At first, I used to be like, oh, Partey. But one thing I really like about this team, and
I'm gonna let Ebenezer react to Jorginho's game today, because another aspect is this is a DM. How did he even get there?
Movement.
Like, how did he get on the wing?
How did he get to that spot that he was the one that got that pass and
I was so confused. I was like, oh, Ben White with another, and then I looked and I was like, wait, that's Jorginho. Yeah, I mean, that's what I love about this team is the fluidity. I mean, you look at Man City, and I mean, Arteta is Pep's, student, right? And what Man City like to do a lot. Look at Rodri. I mean, last game they played before Crystal Palace, I'm drawing a blank, against Aston Villa. Why is this man Rodri in the box scoring a goal that Haaland should be? It's the ability to interplay, it's the ability to change position. And it didn't surprise me. I was just like, how did Jorginho, run and be fast enough to catch that ball? That was the only thing I was thinking. But yeah, he laid out the pass phenomenally, and he had a stellar performance. And like you said, Amazing, I think it's just a beautiful time to be an Arsenal fan when we have every department so stacked. And Jorginho's performance was phenomenal, really held down that anchoring position in midfield and floated on the wing when nobody else did. I mean, why not, right? And we got the opportunity. And I want to talk about... I'm sorry?
Did you see the combination before that goal?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
He won the ball. He won the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He put it to Ben White. Gave it back to, I can't remember how that... Ben White did it to Odegaard.
Odegaard laid it out.
That run, and all of a sudden, bam, he's behind the defense.
Yeah.
But Kai's run was beautiful.
Well timed. He wasn't in a hurry.
And then went in between the two defenders.
It looked like there was an assurance with him. He knew where the ball was going to come with Jorginho was. I mean, I don't know how to describe that combination.
That dude. Can we start talking about Kai? Because I need to talk about Kai.
We're going to get there. Vias, Barry, be watching this episode. Let us know what do you think about Jorginho putting leaving what's his name, Partey on the bench, and Jesus and Martinelli. Let us know, what do you think? Who will be your first choice to start from the left side of the attack, Jesus or Martinelli? So let's get into Partey. Like you mentioned a few minutes ago, Omezi. The last 2 years, no Partey, Arsenal is finished. Slowly, this season, Arteta has moved away from Partey. Partey is fit, and he doesn't even get a minute in a very crucial game like this.
I still think that's down to match sharpness. I think that's down to match sharpness, because if we're keeping it a buck, I think, as much as I love Jorginho, I still think Partey will handle a job for us, a fit Partey, right? Because those passes and everything that he makes, I think it's two different profile of players.
Exactly. I was waiting for you to finish. I was waiting for you to finish because I've been a Partey disciple. I believe over to you. As I was watching the game today, I was asking myself, Partey in this game would have been better off than Jorginho. And I'm not going to lie to you, the answer was Jorginho is doing just fine. His profile was just good for this game. And it became a worry to me because before, Partey for me was that glue in our midfield that, makes things stick. So if I'm a Partey right now, just like what we said the last episode about Zinchenko and Kivio and stuff like that, Partey, we need him. I want him. I don't want him to be sold. I want him to be fit. But the way Jorginho is performing, especially with Declan Rice, this is a good time to be an Arsenal fan because I don't know what you think about about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said, in the past, we would capitulate every time Partey got injured, right? It was here we go again. But now, I mean, it's incredible to think just how versatile our depth is. I mean, look at Man City. They lose Rodri, boom. They start losing games. They start really being dysfunctional. But we lost Partey. We have Jorginho. I mean, like Amazi said, third place in the Ballon d'Or. We're forgetting this man led Italy to the Euros. Same year he got the Champions League. And I think even though they're two different profiles of players, it's Arteta's mindset, I think, is because of how frequent Partey has been getting injured. He's giving him time. He's slowly integrating him back into the team. Today I feel like was a much more high intensity game per se. So, he doesn't want to risk hurting Partey in that department. And I think Partey will slowly start to get more and more minutes. But I think it'll be a shift between, okay, Jorginho, you got maybe this game, I got the next, vice versa, yada, yada. It's just a blessing that we have Jorginho. And
I'm telling you.
A
lot
of fans were saying because even with Declan Rice, if we didn't have Jorginho, Partey would have been rushed back into the mix, and I'm sure by now probably he would have gone back to injury. Yeah. Thank God for Jorginho.
I am so thankful for him. Yes, for Jorginho, because again, I will not lie. I was one of those people who were like, if I see him on the team sheet, I was like, oh my God, like oh my God, Chelsea did us again. That was what I always said. I was like, oh God, Chelsea did us. God, I was always
Chelsea fans were happy. They were bragging.
They were happy, like,
another agent.
Because of our previous experiences with Luis, Gallas, and the rest
Willian, oh my God.
I was like, oh my God. I said, you know what? I did not want to make it seem as if I was being a little baby. But every time I saw him on the team sheet, I was like, oh, not again. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking for Jorginho on the team sheet.
I'm telling you, bro.
I'm looking for him.
One thing that I've been noticing, and it's just so enlightening and loving for us as Arsenal fans, is the fact that when we used to get players from the quote unquote big six, especially Man City, Chelsea,
United.
United. They past their prime. They would be kind of kicked out of the team and looking for another team to play for. But when we got Zinchenko, when we got Jesus, when we got Jorginho, we're getting the best of the best, and we
got Havertz.
Arsenal. Havertz, exactly, and we transformed it. Now he's had his best Premier League season after scoring this goal.
I'm telling you, He's poised to have a best season of his career. Even when he was lightning at Leverkusen, it looks like he's having a better career in Arsenal than even Leverkusen.
Oh yeah. That boy for me, I'm biased towards him. I love him. He was born. His number is October 29. I was born October 29.
Wow.
So I have a low affinity for him. You know what I'm saying? So, pardon me if I am a little biased.
Man, thank you, bro.
But my thing is, I feel so vindicated, because I'm like, this kid can play ball.
Yeah.
Like, languid as he look.
He's talented.
Languid as he looks, like lazy and everything. He's actually very hardworking. Mm-hmm. Because I remember when Xhaka left, right? Everybody was like, who's going to bring his aggression?
The goals that Jack has scored 7 goals last season. Who's going to replace those goals? Goals in the season?
Again, I did not think that he was going to be this good. I didn't think so. So but there was something I said. I looked at him. I said, "This kid knows what he's doing." Mm. he's arriving up. It kind of reminded me of, this might sound crazy.
Thomas Muller?
Who?
Thomas Muller?
Yeah. So, like, he's always there. He's a nuisance.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing you're going to look at Thomas Muller and say, oh, he's particularly good at this thing. But he's particularly good at being a nuisance.
I know the last time we talked about his runs and creating space. I remember 2 seasons ago, off-season in Florida, Arsenal played against Chelsea. That was the first time he cut his hair. He used to have a very long hair before. So he cut his hair low that summer. And I know Arsenal beat Chelsea 4-0. He was the only player that was in the stadium. I kept seeing him pop up left, right, and center, taking position. I was asking somebody, did Chelsea sign a new player? Who is this? I kept looking until I checked the lineup on live scores and tried to figure out, okay, I know all the other players. Who is this guy? Eventually, I realized he was Kai Havertz. I said, does he play like this? This is not what I see on the television. That guy, I think, is one of his biggest threats. He's picking up very important positions against the opponent. Odegaard has that as well. But because of his work in the midfield, it's reduced now because he has to also press and stop that. But Kai Havertz is now the headmaster in that team of picking very, very negative positions against opponents. And if you ignore it, I'm good luck to you. Good luck to
I think God has a very good sense of humor. Ebenezer, what do you think? God has a very good sense of humor because he watched all of us as Arsenal fans like fighting out. Now, what is going on? What has Arteta done? And I was one of the people, like I always said, I don't know, but this kid, but I did not think he was going to be this good.
Listen to a lot of pundits. They said the only thing you can say about Kai Havertz, okay, he scored the winning goal for Champions League. Anybody could have done that. That's all you can remember about Kai Havertz. There was so much hammering of Mikel Arteta. How can you going to go and spend 65 million on a player that's not going to start in your team? Arteta is being too stubborn of playing Kai Havertz. You should drop him on the base. He's not good enough to start in this team. This Arsenal team, the first 11 is just fine. He was so bored. I believe I'm trying to call you short. You were about to say something.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say when I saw him in preseason in the States, in the MLS All-Star game and the Yost Challenge, I remember this one clip went viral where he completely skyrocketed. Some attempts were just flat-footed, right? And then when it came time for the game, he actually did his job and finished. And I was just thinking, I was like, what if this turns out to be one of those transfers that we look back on and we're like, how did they get this right? And it truly is. I mean, and going back to the Champions League final goal, that's what people remember him for. And it's almost kind of used against him, like, okay, you scored the Champions League final winning goal, but he was in the right position again. He was a nuisance again. And I really feel like if we go deep in the Champions League, which we somewhat are already, the quarterfinals and the Premier League, the race, Kai Havertz has been that player time and time again, as of recent at least, that has really put his stamp on this team and helped us cross that line.
And scored many important goals. I think it's about 2 or 3 winning goals.
He doesn't feel the pressure at this point.
Yeah,
I was watching the game today, right? Gyökeres, the Swedish guy, the striker, he's the highest goal scorer in what you call it now. And rumor has it that Arsenal are really hot on his trail, right? I was watching it. I was saying, and in my head, I started thinking, I normally don't do this. Well, I used to. Where I used to fantasize about players before they come to Arsenal,
Arsenal, can we get this player?
Like, can we get him? Now, I just thought about it. I'm like, okay, so what if we don't get that guy? Am I okay with having Havertz play this position? Because now he's literally forking out at the business end of the season. He's forking out assists. He's forking out goals
and performances. Not just
performances. He's like wearing down the defenders. Who was
that? Not to be counted. No.
Somebody said so. One of these pundits said it recently. Like it's so annoying to play against him Because one moment you're not looking, he's here. And next moment he's here with two other Arsenal players. And he's always bringing people in.
And there's the battle to be fought. He doesn't chicken out. He's there. He's fighting.
He's there. He's going at it. He's picking at it.
Okay, it's good you're saying. Let me ask two of you. Let me start with you, Benita. Minus Arteta being adamant and stubborn and kept playing Kai. Minus the team doing well and him coming in and they try to help him and stuff like that. As a person for Kai, what do you think that he did? What helped him survive all this backlash, all these rumors and everything, and become the player that he is today? Because no matter what Arteta does for you, no matter what the team does for you, you have to do your bit to be where he is today with Arsenal and the way he's playing. What do you think was very important for him as a person?
I think it's the culture of the team and how they really are a family per se. When you look at Chelsea last season, it was a lot of negativity in that dressing room. Thiago Silva saying there's too many players here, just commenting on the atmosphere. And I think with Arsenal it's different. They all were motivating and pushing Kai no matter what. And I feel like, with Kai, all it took was that one goal for him to score. I mean, it was his first goal, I believe, was a penalty.
Was a penalty they gave him?
The first goal, not the penalty, but the first scored an open play. I think that was the shifting moment for Havertz.
And it was an important goal as well to that.
Exactly. And what you need as a player is that little bit of confidence. He's getting it from his teammates. He's getting it from his manager. All he needed to do was have that self-belief and find it within himself. And I think, like I said, a big part of that was the Arsenal team. I mean, you look at Odegaard. This man is always the first to praise people. Always the first. And that really pushed Kai. I think, like I said, once he got that first goal, he had the backing of his manager. He had the support of his teammates no matter what. Imagine in the locker room after 8-9 games of playing pretty consistently bad, your teammates are still telling you, like, you're a phenomenal player. You got this, that. I feel like other places, they might be like, why are you starting? Coach, why is he starting? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Even when whispers started coming out from the team, they started asking. I can't remember who it was. It was Odegaard or somebody who they asked him, "Who's the one player you're most impressed with?" And it said Kai Havertz. Why? It said no. It wasn't. It was one of the defenders or Saka. I think it was like one of those guys said his footballing IQ was just out.
Yeah, I think I remember that interview. I'm trying to remember the player that said that. It's true. I remember that interview.
But the thing is, he sucked at the time. He sucked at the time when that statement was made. Was it? Maybe Gabriel Jesus, one of those guys. But he sucked at the time, and then people were like, "Oh, how can he
say that?"
Yeah, if you see him in training, it's a different ball game. Chill. And that was what they were literally saying. Mm-hmm. And it hadn't really come to light at the time. So I really don't blame Arsenal fans for being, we've been impatient.
Yeah, definitely. For me, what stood out for that young man is his mentality. Because I don't know who almost the whole world is going to be is against you, and he still shows up every day, not looking like he's bothered. I remember within that time this heat was going on, he went to play for Germany, and he was asked, and he said, man, that he came into a new team that doesn't really worry about what's being said outside. All he cares about is what the coach tells him and what his teammates tell him, and he's just put his head down. He's just doing his job. That if it wasn't that good, I don't think Arsenal was going to sign him. And and that's who he is.
I just did a screenshot with you.
Yes, I seen it.
Like when I saw it, that was one of the first things that caught my eye. It said you can't please everybody.
That's what he was saying. So that his mentality was,
you gotta be cold.
I don't really care what you guys are saying, but I know who I am. I know what I can. I'm going to be to this team, and with that, for me as a person, like you said, I also raised my hands up. I remember telling Ugum, I was kind of scrutinizing every touch that Havertz made, and I used to feel that he never had any clean hit on the ball. If it's a pass, for me, then it was either on under heat or overheat. I was always fighting, trying to like, man, are you sure this thing is going to work? But like I said earlier on, I was ready to trust Arteta because the way he was adamant, just like Ben White. Ben White, £50 million. Everybody was like, for a defender.
That's the most expensive defender on the roster.
I was thinking about it today. I said, I remember when Ben White was signed, everybody was like, okay, he may be good, but he's not worth that money. Kai Havertz, $65 million was the noise. Nobody talking about the amount for or the amount Kai Havertz was signed anymore. Declare the same thing.
In the Arsenal docu-series on Amazon Prime, it was I believe it's one of the coaches. His name's Miguel.
Yeah, okay. But when you took Ben White for a personal session, right?
Yeah, and he was like, as far as predicting, I truly believe you're the best in the world.
Yeah, he said he's a world-class player. He told you.
Exactly. And I mean, that just goes to show Arteta, the entire staff at Arsenal, just their vision and their ability to, I don't think we've had, since Nicola Pepe, per se, I don't think we've had a bad transfer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Everything has built up. All the transfers have hit. Even Saliba, that was in the Unai Emery era.
Everybody was cooking Arteta for telling Saliba to go on loan. I remember they said there's an agenda, there is this, there is that, there is this. Because now. And let me ask you guys, I know he's always said that a team mirrors their coach's habits or how he does things. And like we said earlier on, Arteta, for me, I've said this for a very long time. I've been saying on this channel that he tries as much as possible not to repeat mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but once he does it one time, it doesn't work. He hardly repeats his mistake. Now, this team, one thing that this team has improved on, has done, is improve on concentration. I was watching this game today. Our 2 goals, the typical Arsenal team, even under Arteta, we'll concede one. We just feel that the game is done. The ball is done. Even if they score one now, we have enough time. The time is not much for them to come back. But I saw a team 100% from the keeper to the last man up front on it.
The commentator made a comment that really stood out to me. And he was like, in past seasons, Arsenal would kind of slack off and once they established that 1 or 2 goal lead, because he was asked, he said, is a 2 goal lead some comfortable? And he said sometimes it can be dangerous, and especially with the Arsenal all time. But he said now Arsenal, even that 1-0 for them, it's a different aura, it's a different atmosphere.
Exactly.
They so connected.
They're not letting you in
the entire game, and that's
the mentality. The concentration is like they even almost play like they are losing the game. If you just come onto the match and you don't see the scores, you would think it's 0-0. The way they are going for every tackle, celebrating every defensive action and stuff like that.
Can I praise somebody real quick? And
go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go for it.
I think you might know who I'm about to mention.
Brian?
Gabriel.
Oh, Gabriel.
Gabriel, yes. Gabriel.
Like,
Gabriel. Last time you talked about Benitez, I don't know if you're picking my brain. You know where I'm going next. You keep preempting the next question.
Like the guy for me does not. It's like, and him and Trossard. Like the passion those guys. Number one, Trossard for scoring. He has this insane thing for scoring. But if you saw the way the both of them celebrated a block that Gabriel made, it was like a goal.
I'm telling you. I know what you're talking about.
Like, they hate to concede goals. It's like when they do it, and you can see it, there's energy. When it happens, like, you're not coming, and they're always on the front foot. They don't let you settle on the ball and make your own decision. They get the ball away. He will get the ball away from you beforehand.
And it's good to mention Trossard there. I think Trossard has this mentality, like I was saying about the team mirroring the coach's attitude and habits. Trossard comes onto the pitch like a player that will say, okay, I know regardless of what I do, I'm not going to start. But I'm going to keep making you have sleepless nights, keeping me on the bench. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. I don't care if it's 10 minutes you give me. But anytime I step in on this pitch for Arsenal, Arteta, I'm not fighting with you. I'm not mad at you. But I'm going to keep making it difficult for you to wonder why this guy is
not starting. In my opinion, I think Trossard, no player is ever content with not having a starting position. But I think Arteta and him had a conversation. And Arteta's like, hey, Trossard, you're a secret weapon every single game. You're going to come on.
That's what I'm saying.
And disrupt everything going on. Because when he started, I've noticed when he started, it's a bit harder for him to get on that front foot. Not that it's difficult, but he hasn't scored as much just coming off the bench. It's insane. And that pressing to get the goal. I mean, he jumped on the front foot, got the ball.
Yeah.
With Kai, and then that celebration. When he stood up in front of the Brighton.
Let's not celebrate that goal only for Trossard. Your boy Kai Havertz. Again. That assist, bro, from a defensive position, from a defensive action, turn it into an assist, and
that one touch was history. Yes.
But this is the second time he has done it. That's the second time he has done that for him.
Yes. They're starting to love playing with each other for real. But I was waiting for Trossard to do this, right? But then he goes in front of the fans.
Because you know, the Brighton fans we are turning to two. Some we are singing his name, Leo. Some we are booing him. So when he scored, I could also see it on him 50-50. Should I celebrate or should I rub it in?
He's gonna celebrate. Always gonna celebrate.
He said, well, look at me, take me and do whatever you want. I'm
cold.
That was man.
Like the mentality in that team for me is just so refreshing. So refreshing to watch because it's just how do you they clown them so much. Again, it goes back to that thing we're talking about being petty, right? They don't like being clowned twice. It looks like it. They get against West Ham.
Arsenal is some history with Brighton. There are some distasteful experiences. Anytime these teams pop up, these guys pounce on them like a lion that saw a lamb.
Remember I told you guys something the last time. I said, at this point going forward, all three teams in the title race are going to go into every game as favorites. I don't care who. Because Liverpool, we're going to every game as a favorite. Manchester City, we're going to every game as a favorite. Arsenal, we're going to every game as a favorite. Because now you start to see teams just tremble whenever these guys are coming, right? It's who is able to actually shut them out from even trying. You're not going to get a goal at me. You're not going to get a goal from me.
Talking about
and it's good you said that. That's why I said last episode, if you remember, you guys, I told you guys that for me, looking at not just how the team is performing, but other things around these three teams, why I feel Arsenal will win the league. Because Arsenal, like what you said, the three of them go into games as favorites, but Arsenal is the only team that go into games, opponents having in the back of their mind, trying to figure out how do we score one goal against this team.
Arsenal are the only team out of the top three. First of all, you know I mentioned Raya earlier. First Arsenal keeper in history to keep 5 consecutive clean sheets. What a guy, man. And talking about concentration, this is why we had to get Ramsdale out, unfortunately. that was the missing link. And the thing is, the difference, like you said, I feel Arsenal are the front runners for the title because when I watch Liverpool play against Sheffield, when I watched Liverpool play against Brighton. I mean, Liverpool at home almost drew to Brighton.
Exactly.
Us away at the Amex, where it's difficult to come away with the 3 points. We thrashed Brighton.
Tore them apart. There was no time that Brighton, they had some foothold on the game a few times, but there was no time they were a threat to score goal.
The league is scared. The league is rightfully, they should be scared of Arsenal.
They are. Arsenal, if they don't win this year, man, they're gonna win eventually. 100.
Like I said before, it's gonna be very, very bad of football not to allow Arsenal win this league this season.
Man United beat Liverpool tomorrow.
Done enough.
Please.
I'm a Manchester United fan tomorrow.
Same.
I'm a Manchester United fan tomorrow. I know,
if they draw.
Huh?
If they draw, I think
That's it.
look, I want Liverpool to lose. But if they draw, that's one step closer.
It's
And
a win for if they draw and everybody wins their games, Arsenal wins the league because it's going to be the same point
Goal
with Arsenal, but we have superior goal difference. And I see this team will keep scoring as as they move forward. So let's touch our viewers. Don't forget. Let's know who impressed you most in this game today for Arsenal, and what do you think going forward? Do you think Arsenal is going to win the league? What is your gut feeling telling you? If you were to put your money on any of these three teams, which one will you choose? Will it be Arsenal, City, or Liverpool?